Thank you so much. An honor. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It's a huge honor to be standing here for so many reasons. To be in India, a country that has become a home away from home for many years, thanks to the friends that I've made here. And my instant empathy with people whose passion, knowledge of our wonderful game of cricket is unparalleled. Seriously though, to be the first overseas cricketer to give this lecture feels nothing less than incredible, because we are here, of course, to remember the great Tiger Pataudi. What a cricketer. And even more importantly, what a man. I heard about him back in Durban in darker times. I heard about him in England, where above all he was renowned as a man who believed in fulfilling cricket potential to entertain, which is why he's always been a hero of mine, to be honest, as we clearly shared an approach and a philosophy towards this great game. Although I'm not sure I would have felt quite as confident marching down the wicket in a test match with the use of only one single eye, I suggest we should double his average to get a great feel of how this man's talent would have played out with double the vision. And I propose that as a man who understands the game's power to unite and spread joy, he would share my enormous sense of excitement and optimism in addressing these words to one particular group of people in the room this evening. Yes, 11 of you. There are many others who are better qualified to describe the social, political, and cultural impact of that sporting leap. But I know what it means to me as a sportsman, because in my humble opinion, a hard-fought 5-day test match remains the greatest all-round challenge in modern-day sport. A challenge as mentally demanding as it is physically. A challenge demanding the very highest levels of concentration, of technique, of determination, of stamina. Because having played every form of cricket, in every corner of the cricketing globe, I remain 100% convinced that the 5-day test match remains the supreme form of the game. This may surprise some of you. After all, I'm not known as a traditionalist. But in 2005, I maintained that you should never judge a man by a bad haircut. I wore a ridiculous haircut. To explain why the longer form of the game means so much to me, let me take you back to Durban in the early 1980s. I was a young little boy. Shimmering heat, baked pitch, beige outfield, concrete slabs on which we sat at Kingsmead. Transfixed, I watched the provincial cricket of a phenomenal standard. South Africa never had international cricket then. I know I'm not the only one here to have been inspired to work harder, to practice longer, by watching our heroes in white flannels. Fast forward a few years to the exciting period following South Africa's reintegration into Test cricket. The duel between Atherton and Donald. Mr. Richardson was in and around that setup. The bowler giving everything, the batsman never backing away. Gladiatorial, no white flag, no referee's whistle to stop it. Time stood still, epic in every way. Partly down to the technical excellence on show, but also down to the character that only Test cricket can reveal in full. Sachin Tendulkar, Shane Warne, Malcolm Marshall, Steve Waugh, Richard Hadley, Kapil Dev. The list goes on and on. Each played his fair share of one-day matches, yes. But when we look back at their extraordinary achievements, their performances that will always stand at the test of time are those when they were dressed in white. So let me ask you a few questions. Firstly, to the Afghanistan Test team, what does it take to succeed in a test match? What makes it different from any other form of the game in which you've already excelled? For me, it's the ability to take your lessons from the nets into the heat of the battle. It's the determination to prepare, to practice, and to give 100% commitment to everything that you are doing. I know some of you personally, and you've been demonstrating those qualities and that application for a long time now. My second question, and I ask this on behalf of every cricketing fan and every cricket player who's experienced the extraordinary highs and lows of Test cricket, is this: what will it take to keep this form of the game alive? How can we ensure that our children's children, cricket will not simply be a game that takes 40 overs or less after work? Well, I'm afraid that the answer to that isn't in the hands of the cricketers at all. It's actually in a word that makes me shudder: commerce. We may dream that cricketers will choose to play 5-day cricket because of the history and its tradition, because it develops character, and because we seek to emulate the feats of Bradman, Hutton, and India's Sunil Gavaskar. If we wish cricketers to commit to 5-day cricket, we have to pay them. As an ex-cricketer, I know I can say this without being accused of self-interest for once. So how do we pay them? Simply by throwing the game's commercial nous and innovation at the Test game. 5 days of action. It'll only take by pushing the marketing dial to maximum that we will see the Test game at its true potential. Let's make every single game count. Push the profile of the World Test Championships. Develop marketing opportunities. Offer cheap seats in the ground to provide a better spectacle. Is there a game anywhere quite like Test cricket, in which so many fans and so many people are so passionate, yet rarely attending the game in person? We need to get them back through the turnstiles. It's better for the players, it's better for the sponsors, it's better for the televisions. We all want to play in full stadiums. Let's get the fans back. Don't sacrifice the opportunity to really challenge yourself. Don't restrict yourself to a form of cricket that, however brilliant, doesn't require mastery of every single skill. Only Test cricket can do that. How do you ensure that Rashid Khan, who sits here this evening on the verge of becoming a Test star, and his fellow stars in this room commit to Test cricket? How do you push them towards a career where they truly care about the 5-day game, where they don't just pay lip service to the national Test side, but dream of Test cricket and strive to master it? Well, I'm not so long in the tooth that I've forgotten the answer to that one. It's remarkably simple. Ensure that it becomes their priority. They're professionals. They are now brands in their own right. And as this incredible Afghanistan team proves, great players can move mountains and inspire populations. When the greatest players can attract the greatest income by playing the greatest form of the game, then we will see nothing less than a renaissance of Test cricket. Now, I'm sure you will all excuse me if I save my closing words for the Test players of the Afghanistan team. You guys are sitting on the very edge of history. The doomongers say there's a dying form of the game, but you have it within your grasp to keep it alive. You're changing a perception of your country that has been in the news for the wrong reasons for far too long. Far from Test cricket dying, you are creating a new beginning. And my dearest hope is that the administrators of cricket around the world can do everything in their power to harness the momentum across India, the subcontinent and beyond. Play in the spirit of the great Tiger Pataudi. And if you take his values onto the square, then whatever you achieve in this game and wherever it takes you, you will never regret a moment of it. Good luck.